the way people choose their heroes is very special. I wouldn't say it's strange. It's just, I think people don't value the right things in people. It feels like, yeah, that's true. It feels that people, it feels like people because you are rich or because you are good at something, they believe you can be good at everything, and they believe that you are just a genius. And I believe that we throw the world genius on too many people and too easily. Because you can make a great song, I don't believe it makes you a genius. I believe that maybe it makes you a musical genius, or maybe a musical talented person. You can use the word, but it doesn't make you a genius. And even if you are a genius, it doesn't make you somebody who's socially capable of understanding the things. And we are seeing this with Elon Musk trying to turn Twitter into the grand idea that he had. And bro, sis, it's not working. It's from what I see, he's going from blunder to blunder, trying to change stuff. But I feel that, I mean, when he bought Twitter, I was kind of happy. I was like, yeah, he's gonna change it, make it a place where people can talk for free, and have people not be scared of the woke dictator, and just put some balance. The thing is this: if you disagree with somebody, or you disagree with a situation, or you see a situation from another point of view, or you just question things, you shouldn't be banned from a platform unless what you say is against the law. But more and more, we've seen this with the pandemic, and we've seen this with the what's going on in the east of Europe. All of a sudden, if you have questions, people will just come and cancel you. And I believe that this is very, very, very dangerous, right? And I believe that it was great that a guy like him came and removed some things that were preventing people from having their free speech. I don't believe in the free speech absolutely. I'm not an absolutist when it comes to free speech. I believe that you still have to, be able to protect your platform from a lot of the misinformation. But if you want to protect a platform from misinformation, you have to be able to be fair and to understand that there's a difference between information and opinions. And we can have, if I have an opinion that is different than yours, but I'm not, and I'm coming from the same set of information, right? We're looking at the same numbers, but some people will say the reason is this, and me, I say, no, the reason is that. And I have 1 million followers that I say, yeah, you're right, the reason is that. I might end up being canceled because people will say, oh, you have too many followers. You have to say what we say. If not, we put you in the misinformation. So now you are weaponizing the platforms, and you are weaponizing opinions, and you say that everybody that disagree with you is dangerous. And that's, for me, that's how fascism starts. And the problem with a lot of people who are for free speech, they are for free speech only when they agree with you. And there's a lot of laws that are already in place for preventing people to insult other people a certain way and to harm people a certain way. But because it's social media and there's millions of people, those people believe that, the rules in place don't work. We want a place where all these people who are saying stuff that is bad or that doesn't go with the agenda that we have must be prevented from amassing an amount of followers. But I don't believe it works. We've seen this with Andrew Tate, who got canceled and deplatformed even from Uber. What does Uber has to do with free speech? And listen, I believe it harmed them way more than it hurt them way more than it gave them force to cancel Andrew Tate, because we've never heard more than after that. And you cannot just live a life where, I think people are getting tired of a world where when you have a conversation with people, all they can reply to you is buzzwords and hashtags. That's not how you have a conversation. When you have a conversation with a friend, you exchange opinions. You say, oh, I believe this. The person say, I believe that. And if personally I was talking with somebody, and soon as I say something they don't like or they don't agree with, they get angry and they throw me a bunch of hashtags, I would be like, I don't want to have conversations with you. The people that two of the people that I talk to the most and that I prefer that are my friends, that are in my close circle of friends, we disagree on everything politically, but like we disagree completely. They are complete socialists. I'm a complete capitalist. They believe in this, that, and the third. I believe the complete opposite. They would vote. We all French, all three of us. So they all vote one way. I vote the other way. And when it comes to having politics, we can have heated debates, but we don't have debates where we talk hashtags. We give ideas. I give my ideas. They give theirs. Sometimes we completely disagree. And it's okay, because I listen to them respectfully and they listen to me when I give my opinion. Sometimes they will say something about and I say, yeah, I agree with that part. And I will say something and they will say, I agree with that part. And then other things I will say, I completely disagree. Other thing I completely disagree. And they were like, why did you vote for him? I was like, because for me, that was the best option for what I believe and the kind of world I want to live in. And for them, no, you should not. And I was like, yeah, well, listen, that's my freedom to vote. And once the conversation is over, or when we done with that part, or maybe we're tired of talking after 3 hours, everybody is like, okay, hey, listen, kiss to your wife, kiss to the kids, hey, kiss to your wife too, or kiss to your boyfriend too, and the kids, and hey, much love. Listen, let's talk next week or tomorrow. And then when we talk again, we talk about something else. And it's all good. And we don't hate each other for having different opinions about the world. because there's a lot of places where we actually agree. We disagree on some things, but not on the rest. But social media has become a place where the truth is hostage of different groups that are pressuring advertisers, and advertisers are pressuring the platforms, and it's not healthy. And look, with everything that happened 2-3 years ago with the pandemic, now that the information is continuing and the people are continuing their research, we are discovering that some of the things that we were told, well, it's not that it was not true. People didn't know. And instead of saying we don't know, they decide to take some decisions. And a lot of the professors that did not agree with some of the things were demonetized, deplatformed, got their Twitter removed. And now we're starting to see that a lot of things that those people were saying were true. And nobody's coming to them to say, I'm sorry. And the governments were calling the platforms, telling the platform, hey, this thing cannot be there because we need to control the population. And listen, you cannot say that you are for democracy, and at the same time, all you do is preventing people from getting access to the information. Listen, in Africa, we've been using some medicine forever. And some people said, yeah, listen, for COVID, that's something that we could use. Listen, you would pronounce these words, plaquenil, hydroxychloroquine, on YouTube, your channel would just get demonetized straight away. Probably, now that I've said all the words, all the magic words, my life must be demonetized already. Let me see. Wait. No, it's not. See? And now a lot of people are getting back their voice and the possibility to talk because there's a pushback from the population. People are tired of not being able to agree or disagree. I believe that the governments are scared of a world where they don't control the sources of information. It's not a lot of people here. This show, every episode is viewed by, I would say, 1,000 people. Some of you are live. A lot of people watch the show the next day. And hi to everybody who watched the replay. Don't forget to put a comment. A lot of these people, they get some knowledge here because of the way I think, the things I say, etc. And a lot of people, they trust more a guy like me that they follow on YouTube, or a guy like Joe Rogan, or etc., whoever is your source of information. Back in the days, it used to be, I remember growing up, we had TF1, Antenne 2, and Antenne 3. That's it. There was 3 channels, and then at 8 p.m. there was the news, and they were all saying the same things. And they had some debates, and the debates, yeah, sometimes depending on what it was about, you would have 2 people with complete different opposing views that were arguing ideas, and they would let you have your opinion. But in 2022, not only there's a multiplication of channels, but also anybody can have a podcast or a YouTube channel where they come and they talk like me right now. And they have all types of followings. Some people have 100 people following them, and some people have 20 million. And those people sometimes are more powerful with their opinions than CNN and then the places that the government can give a certain information. And a lot of times, for example, depending on the subject, right? I watch some shows where they're debating about something. For example, when it comes to the war in Ukraine, every French show that you watch are not debates. It's just four people who agree that, hey, listen, those guys are bad, those guys are good. That's it. And they debate on the rest. They don't have a show where you're gonna have two people saying, "No, listen, those guys are actually the bad guys, and those ones are reacting this way." And on the other side, two people saying the opposite, and maybe a fifth one saying there's a lot of gray. And we get to decide for ourselves, who do we believe is good or bad. The governments don't like that. So, and if anybody comes and says something, social media goes crazy on them, and then the platforms just kill you. I don't think this is gonna work for long. I believe that as the people get tired, they're gonna start voting away and just starting to be angry with that. And I really believe that Elon was trying to fix that. And I mean, in a way, that's what he started doing, fixing that part, making sure that the platforms are not against the people who go against the views of the people who run the platforms. I believe that if you run a platform, listen, sometimes we have conversations here, and Julie, for example, completely disagrees with me when we talk about certain subjects. And at the end of the conversation, she doesn't love me less, and I don't love her less. It doesn't change. We just that we disagree on certain subjects, and she explains why, and I explain my reasons, and maybe in the conversation I say, oh yeah, I see how you feel. But because I can't explain myself and I take the time to explain why I decide one way, she's gonna be, yeah, I agree with you, but I still rock with those people, so I disagree. And it's cool. I'm not gonna be like what the platforms are doing. If I was like what the platform are doing, if I was doing the same thing as the platform, what I would do is, oh, you disagree with me? Ban. Block you. And I only block people when they are disrespectful. You see what I mean? It's only when they are disrespectful and they are going way too crazy, that's when I block people. The rest of the time, I don't have no reason to block you guys, because I'm not trying to force you to have the same opinion as me. I'm just here to have a conversation. And when you have a conversation with people, you have to also respect their opinions. It is very important. And I believe that what Elon was trying to do in the beginning was that just make sure that every opinion is out there, and that anybody can give their opposite opinion inside of the scope of the law, of course. But I believe that just like the other people, he got emotional. He got emotional because social media is not something you can fix as easy as you think, because there's a lot of people going crazy and a lot of people believing that, yeah, and a lot of people who want freedom of speech, like all these journalists, want freedom of speech only if you agree with them. And journalists now are all becoming activists, and it's sad. They are not. A lot of them have biased views. And listen, a lot of people, once you give them a little bit of power, a few thousand followers, they now believe that their opinion is the sacred scriptures. And they start, virtue signaling everywhere. Oh, you have to be like this, has to be like that. And anybody who believes differently, we're gonna write an article about you, and we're gonna send a maximum of people to bully you digitally. And listen, you can be a genius, send people to Mars. It doesn't mean that you're not a human and that you don't have emotion. And I believe that he's letting his emotion on some ways, he's letting his emotion take the best of him. And yeah, I don't believe that he should run Twitter. He owns it. I don't believe that he should run it. I think he should take somebody who understands the mission, but is not tweeting all the time and being hands-on with a platform that, like, those platforms are complicated, and the people in there are, yeah, human, so aggressive for nothing, and they walk in packs of in mobs, and yeah, you have as a platform just to protect everybody from those behaviors, but you don't have to choose a side as a platform. You cannot choose a side. You cannot decide who's good, who's bad, what is the truth, what is not. You have to let the truth be by itself. That's its place. So yeah, that's why I believe that he should do what he said he's going to do, which is just run operation servers and continue, thinking about the world. Because listen, once you personally, if somebody told me, hey, you want to be the new CEO of Twitter, I would say no. Because whenever you're going to take a decision, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to start yelling at you that, and listen, those people don't make no sense, huh? They're going to start yelling at you that, block these people, they are anti-is, or they are ism this, ism that, like hashtags. People lost the good old art of conversation. They lost it. It's lost because of social media. Social media is making people crazy. And if you want social media to not make people crazy anymore, what you have to do is change social media. You have to change the rules of social media. You have to change the behaviors that are created by social media because of the way you program the algorithms. I have a page. My Facebook page has almost 900,000 followers, and when I post photos, I have 50 likes. It's not because everybody stopped using Facebook. It's just because Facebook makes it that only 1% of the people who follow you are seeing your post because of the way the feed is programmed and the algorithms. The algorithm will not show your stuff to the people who follow you. They will show your stuff to the people he decides. So actually, having subscribers on YouTube, having followers on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all these platforms makes no sense. It's useless. You have followers, so people decide, hey, I want to follow that person because I'm interested in what they have to say. And then somebody in that platform can say, yeah, I don't like what this person says. I want that person's post to not be seen. Only the people who go to his profile will see. Everybody else, yeah, they will not show up. So what's the point? Listen, imagine this use case, right? Imagine you have a club and all you post on your Instagram are photos of the people in the club, photos of the party, and photos of how you call this? Photos of the people at the party and flyers. The guys at Instagram, out of nowhere, because I don't want to fight, they want to fight spam, whatever it is their reason, decide that if there's too much text in a post, then we don't show it to a lot of people. We only show it to 0.5% of your followers. So if you have 5,000 followers, let's say you have a club. Let's simplify. Let's say you have 1,000 followers in the account of your discotheque. So if they only show it to 0.5%, it means that only 10 people, 5 people will see the post. So what's the point of having an Instagram if in your Instagram you're going to post flyers for a club? It makes no sense. But that's the kind of decisions that they take. And it's algorithmic, so there's nothing you can do. You cannot say, hey, I'm a club. Can I not be subjected to this? They're like, no. You have to put less text. What you mean put less? I have a show. So I have my show. I want to tell people that I have a show. So I have to put the text, I have to put where it is, I have to put the information, I have to put the price of the entrance, I have to put all that stuff that we put on the flyer. Well, there's too much text, so we're not showing it to the people. What's the point? And all these little things that they do are turning social media useless. The only things that they show are, listen, me, I know, the only things that they show is funny stuff, people dancing, challenges and whatever. Listen, I'm benefiting from it right now with something going on. But if I put something serious or an extract from Club Shada, I'm going to have 2 comments. If I put anybody falling from somewhere, I'm going to have 100 comments. So at a point, are you telling me that the only thing that is interesting and that will create engagement from the algorithm are stupid stuff? What if I want to educate people? What if I want people to come to my club? And that's my problem with all these things, that you realize that you can have all these followers. They don't mean shit. You have people who have 1 million followers. They post a video, they have 100 likes. It makes no sense. It makes 0 sense. And depending on what you're going to post, if you want to really have engagement, you're going to post, funny stuff, whatever. And sometimes you do it, but then you don't care about the platform anymore. And that's a real problem to me with all these platforms. And look, this platform has 4,000 new followers. I know a lot of them come for music, but how you have 4,000 new subscribers, and then when you go live, only, I don't know how many people get a notification, right? But it's not all 100 and how many? All 209,000 followers don't get a notification. It's just, it's gonna send them to those who come a lot or whatever. That is a problem. And I believe that this is what Elon should focus on. But listen, that's his platform. He bought it, so he's gonna shape it into what he wants. And everybody who's there complaining about this should either leave the platform if they're not happy, or just be there and try to give him opinions and whatever. But a lot of people believe, and I see a lot of people, especially people from a certain type of people who have certain type of political beliefs. They believe that those platforms belong to them, and that because they are the side of good, that they decide what is good and bad. Those people believe that they are the one who should, they are very vocal about what should be done, what should not be done, because they know better. I believe that is what he was set to do in the beginning, and he lost himself in social media. Listen, me on Twitter, what I do usually, I check my notification, I check who talk with me, I see who to reply if it's important or interesting, then I post something, then I'm done. Same thing on Instagram. I don't spend hours in there. I don't spend hours on social media. I got better things to do. But listen, it is what it is.